Okay, this is a follow-up to the last video I just made. This is something new I'm doing. Want to introduce to you something I love very much about the Harry Potter books. The audiobook by Jim Dale. So let's go ahead and go to this here. As a follow-up, I found the part where we're looking for, of the paragraph we read by Jim Dale. Now, there are several that I know of, two different readers of the Harry Potter audiobooks, unabridged, which means they don't cut anything out. They just read word for word through the entire book, which to me is the only way to actually, hear the book. Jim Dale, in my opinion, is the best reader ever. In fact, I was inspired by him to make several audiobooks of my own of some obscure books that don't have audiobook readings by my favorite author, Philip Jose Farmer, which we'll maybe get into some other time. But Jim Dale is really the best reader. He's expressive. He's very measured in his reading. He's got a zillion different voices to him. So let's actually do a quick review of what we looked at here. Starts with Lee seguía comentando el partido. Lee continued to comment the game. So let's actually hear what he has to say, and I want you to follow along with the words that he's saying. We'll use this as a follow-up to see how close I got on my interpretation. Now, there's some liberties to be taken here, because of not just individual words, but because of culture and context. We're translating not into English, but into British English. There's some little interesting quirks about British English that we can understand perfectly well, but they're kind of slang to the British context. All right, so here we go. Let's. I'm going to go ahead and do the audio of the book here for just a second.
Lee was still commentating. Slytherin in possession, Flint with the quaffle, passes Spinet, passes Bell, hit hard in the face by a bludgeon. Hope it broke his nose. Only joking, Professor. Slytherin's score. Oh, no.
All right, so that was pretty interesting. Notice that he said Lee continued. What did he say? Continued the commentary, but he didn't say el partido. He didn't say the game, right? So this the Spanish version. Who knows? It might be taking liberties. Whoever translated this into Spanish had to kind of not only take what was being said into account and translate it directly into Spanish, but also, to kind of take liberties with the Spanish culture and say the things that the Spanish people would make sense of. There are some things that if you translate word for word, just don't translate into the context of a particular culture, So a little bit of liberties taken there. All right, let's do that again. Starting with Lee seguía comentando el partido. All right, let's see here.
The Slytherins were... Oh, Slytherin in possession was still most unseated him.
All right, here we go.
Lee was still commentating. Slytherin in possession, Flint with the quaffle, passes Spinet, passes Bell, hit hard in the face by a bludgeon. Hope it broke his nose. Only joking, Professor. Slytherin's score. Oh, no.
So a lot just zipped by there with the with the English version. This is a translation, not a literal word for word, just A to B kind of thing, or even a literal phrase to phrase. This, the whole kind of context culturally has to be taken into account. and there's a little bit of wiggle room there. And I'm sure any Spanish written book, any book written in Spanish, would be translated into English with some liberties taken. There's a lot of things, if you translate it literally from Spanish, any first language English speaker would say, like, what the heck does that mean? That doesn't even make any sense. There's some things you have to twist around until it makes sense. Someday we ought to also do some exercises with song lyrics. Lyrics are written in a poetic manner, and there's a lot of wiggle room, a lot of gray area that takes place in any song lyrics, because we're talking about an artistic way of speaking and getting across ideas, not a literal just telling of a story like you'd read in a book. This happened, this happened. There's a lot of fun twists of phrases and stuff, and there's a lot revealed about a culture through their music. So this is maybe something I should do in the future too. So, taking some Spanish translations of music, especially some Spanish translations of music that were originally written in English, such as, say, Hotel California, a huge song in Spanish culture, and in English, in American culture as well, and it says a lot. With the poetry there. Okay, so that's just a quick little thing as an add-on. Sometimes I'm going to be doing these little follow-ups with the audio, and it's always going to be Jim Dale, because I'm a huge Jim Dale fan. He really has the best kind of reading. All right, so that's follow-up number 1. I think I'll make this a regular thing with the Learn Spanish with Me. Thanks for joining me.